Hi Tumblr!
Hello people of Tumblr!
Hey, we're 5 Seconds of Summer!
Hello, who are you?
I'm Marina.
How's your day, Marina?
And we're 21 Pilots.
I'm obviously wearing some vintage Tyler Oakley jewellery and a vintage Tyler Oakley crown.
Don't inhale too much.
Just a cigarette, and it's just a memory light.
I love Tumblr. It's actually one of my favorites because I think it's extremely unique.
Maybe, but is it worth it if we fight?
And Tumblr was really about opening that up wide, saying that we didn't want to define the medium, we wanted to leave it wide open and let this creative community come in and invent whole ways to use it.
Hey celebrities, it's Vitaly and welcome back to Vitaly Space. I'm so happy to see you here today. Let's pretend that it's 2013 for a second. You're listening to Melanie Martinez on your iPhone 4S with the Galaxy mustache case on it, rocking a choker and American Apparel tennis skirt, while reblogging a Tumblr post shipping Troye Sivan and Tyler Oakley, or Santana and Britney from The Glee Show, or even most likely Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson. What a time to be alive.
Harry, I've got to ask you about this one. This is Famous Magazine. This says you and Louis are a couple. There's pictures of you kissing.
And should I even mention Shane Dawson and Joey Graceffa? I don't think so either. If that was you or you know what I'm talking about, this video was meant to find you. Tumblr was a place for inspiration-seeking fandoms to connect over their favorite musicians, celebrities, television characters or fashion. The normal people scare me quotes could be found in every dashboard that made teenagers to feel special for not being like all the others. And that's the beauty of Tumblr. So buckle up legend, today we're gonna discuss the soft grunge phenomenon that Tumblr was in the mid-2010s, as well as the rise and fall of the so-called Tumblr girl aesthetic and its potential comeback that is already happening actually. For this video I even had to find my old profile on there, and let me tell you up front, the cringe has entered the chat.
Honey.
You're definitely not ready for this one, only on Vitaly's channel.
Everything is blue. His pills, his illnesses.
One of the first pioneers in the blogging sphere named Tumblr was founded by web designer David Karp in 2007. The platform was intended to be a microblogging and social media network.
I'm gonna go through a couple things that you need to know as a new member of Tumblr. Never ever speak of Tumblr. The whole purpose of Tumblr is to get away from the people that are on Facebook. So as you join Tumblr and the awesomeness unfolds, do not go to your friends and say, "You guys, I have found the coolest website ever." Yes, we know that Tumblr is very cool. That is going to be an action that I guarantee you're gonna regret later.
It is also known for being a home of so-called fandom, where people are devoted to specific topics and different areas of interest, whether it's a television show, movie, celebrity or anime.
One Direction is life.
Are you real Directioner?
Yeah! Go ahead. 100%.
Ask us any question.
What do I do as a Directioner? I blog about them. Tumblr all day. I think that's like the most popular thing on Tumblr, except for hipsters.
It was a place of poetry, photography, fan fiction, inspiring quotes on the galaxy backgrounds and so much more.
In the beginning, you may be a little confused because you're going to notice that there are quotes and that these quotes are placed on pictures. And 99.9% of the time, the picture will have absolutely nothing to do with the quote. Picture of a forest. Not a day goes by where I don't wish I could see your face again. Now that quote has nothing to do with a forest, but don't question it. Just take it as it is, relate to the quote and reblog it.
Tumblr has established a reputation as a comfy place to be honest, weird and maybe even depressed. The idea of Tumblr started way back in 2006. At the time, David Karp was working as a software consultant. He developed quite an interest in short-form blogs, which were called Tumblr that just started floating around the internet. But at the time, he'd been expecting one of the already existing platforms to release their own Tumblr blogging website. David waited for about a year for a new service of that kind to be created, and then decided that it's probably time to make his own, and he did, with help of his software developer friend Marco Armand. And it was a great success, with over 75,000 users joining the website within the first 2 weeks.
I think, GIFs are a really clear example of creators that were given a little bit of room to do something that they couldn't really do anywhere else, right? You couldn't see GIFs in the same way on any of the other big networks on the internet. And Tumblr was really about opening that up wide, saying that we didn't want to define the medium, we wanted to leave it wide open and let this creative community come in and invent whole ways to use it, invent whole new types of art and media for us to enjoy.
Although Tumblr was created around the same time as Facebook and Twitter, those platforms did not have the design aesthetic that was necessary for creative people. By 2010, there was more than 6 million users registered on the website. By 2013, 73 million. And as of July 2019, the platform had a whopping 472 million profiles.
If you're homophobic, you're probably not gonna last long on this website, seeing as most people on Tumblr are either lesbian, gay, or they support homosexuality. Just saying. Just saying.
One of the main features that made Tumblr so unique was the true essence of reblogging. The simplicity of sharing content gave a huge rise of at the time unknown or small-time artists.
Hey guys, it's Halsey. The song I'm about to be playing is called Ghost. I wrote it in a basement with a friend, and you heard it first on Hits 1.
All that leads us to the next chapter of today's video, the Tumblr artist, and by extension the so-called Tumblr core music genre, as much as I hate this word, even though technically it doesn't exist and some people use it as an insult. So what is Tumblr core exactly? I like to think of it as the Tumblr version of the 2000s emo music, for example. Typically these artists have the set aura around them, and they match the website aesthetics, which could be soft grunge or pastel, to name a few. They mostly blew up on Tumblr, and later became as close to mainstream as they could get. The Tumblr artist is known for creating personas, usually different from their real-life selves. They usually sing about the dark and depressing subjects that typically target similarly depressed and angsty teens. Tumblr core usually has lyrics that have a clear meaning, which is very open and not subtle.
Crawling back to you.
But it's important to mention that this genre is more like the common musical taste of the website audience, rather than a scene created from the website.
By the way, for this video I decided to ask some of my subscribers about their take and experience with the platform.
Hi Vitaly, thank you for letting me answer some questions and share some personal experiences with Tumblr.
Hi, so my name's Bex, I go by Halloweeny online.
So, just so you know, today I'm not by myself. But anyways, Tumblr fandoms were mostly into the indie pop music scene of the mid-2010s, whose biggest bands and female singers showcased laid-back, vintage-inspired and alternative aesthetic, and these are only to name a few.
My happy little pill, take me away.
Musicians like this became trendsetters, and their fans often reflected their actions, thoughts and looks. And one of those trendsetters was undoubtedly Lana Del Ray, whose music became the soundtrack of Tumblr.
Blue jeans, white shirt, kiss me hard before you go. Open up a beer and you say get over here and play, 'cause you and I, we were born to die.
At one point in the early 2010s, she became a symbol of the website's ideal aesthetic. She incorporates styles from all decades, with beautiful looks inspired by mid-century icons such as Marilyn Monroe, Priscilla Presley, Nancy Sinatra or Jackie Kennedy. She was only 26 years old when her first professionally produced album, Born to Die, was released in 2012, gaining her overnight success, but it had taken her the best part of 10 years to get to that point.
I'm Lana Del Ray, and I'm a singer.
The record aestheticized the experience of middle-class America. She found glamour in the mundane and often outright unglamorous aspects of life, such as daddy issues, depression and drugs.
You can be my full-time baby, hot or cold.
And this is the beauty of Lana Del Ray.
I was a part of many a fandom, Lana Del Ray being one of them. I was made aware to her during this Tumblr phase of mine, and one of my proudest moments, I would say. At the time, I was probably the only girl in my middle school that knew who she was.
At the time though, the pop landscape was not exactly ready for that gloomier vibe of music. The early 2010s pop music was defined by brightness and sound and optimism and spirit.
Yes, sometimes they sang about heartbreaks and pain, but the pain was temporary, and usually accompanied by up-tempo beats lol.
Long story short, those artists were not necessarily depressed in their core, unlike Lana. And let me tell you something, she wasted no time shifting the perspective of pop music with the lead single Video Games.
It's you, it's all for you.
When I first saw Lana Del Ray, something deep in my soul awokened, and I was like, so this is what I've been missing. This is who I needed to be. And it kind of took a turn. Just like the Palo Alto thing, it's just turning. Everything just keeps turning. As soon as something new popped up, I was on it and I was like, this is cool.
I'm usually always thinking about the same goddamn person, so I'll love him forever. But, you know, it's all good. It's all good.
Legend, if you wanna see a full Lana career analysis, definitely let me know. Your like is the biggest vote. But even though the supremacy of Tumblr has fallen, the aestheticization of Lana has endured a decade. Nowadays, most visible through TikTok.
We were born to die.
Another example of notorious Tumblr queen, Marina and The Diamonds, the Welsh singer-songwriter, and by extension her legendary sophomore album Electro Heart.
Prima donna girl, would you do anything for me?
Not only she became popular on Tumblr by pure chance, but self-promoted herself on there too. She created her own blog titled Electro Heart in order to promote her second studio album of the same name. Inspired by the Tumblr generation, she decided to take mysteriously looking selfies on her webcam while touring the States, with intention of looking completely different in each one. So-called archetypes, as she named it. If you scroll back to her very first blog post, you'll see a photo of Marina Diamonds, then 25 years old, sitting in front of the webcam in a blonde wig. "I believe in me," the capture said, and the rest is history. As we know, if you wanted to succeed as a pop star in the early 2010s, you needed to rely on a traditional formula, which is the Hollywood machine. But when Marina released her 2012 album, she came up with her own unique vision. She crafted herself as a fictional character living in a world of heartbreak, glamour and tragedy. It was her first album to reach #1 in the UK, Scotland and Ireland. It was also a hit in America, where the record was certified gold.
There are a few themes. I think the main theme is love. I suppose the side of love which is really about rejection and about talking about things that you don't really like to admit in real life.
As I said, for the album she created a fictitious character named Electro Heart to explore 4 female archetypes in American pop culture.
So you have the suburban housewife, you have suburban youth, you have the homewrecker, you have pin-ups and stars and beauty queens.
She has quickly become a Tumblr phenomenon. I started to become really excited by creating the super feminine character, and from there that started to influence the type of lyrics I was writing, and that fit into the types of images I was looking at on Tumblr. I created the album via Tumblr, that's no exaggeration. At the time, not that it was a brand new platform, it had been around for a few years. But over the years, Marina has gone on to distance herself from that alter ego, saying that it doesn't represent her anymore. I had to kill her, it was the end. It was really fun while it lasted, but those things are only meant to last a certain amount of time, she said.
Are you watching the video without liking it again? I caught you red-handed.
Another one of the most unique artists from this era is definitely Melanie Martinez. Even though her style has gone through a transformation these last few years, her style could not be any more different from Lana and Marina's.
I don't know, like I love like vintage, like 60s, like my favorite time for like, you know, like lingerie and like, you know, baby doll dresses and stuff. I love like Marabou and like anything pastel and fluffy, and like I love vinyl too. I don't know, it's really just like a mix of different things that I like kind of just throw together.
She is best known for the crybaby character, a so-called toddler dressed in cute overalls and fluffy dresses, emulating a 50s look of a spoiled little girl. She explores personal and societal trauma through the aesthetic of childhood, with a mix of a childhood innocence and adult sexuality to grim.
Hi, I'm Melanie Martinez. What do I do for fun? Write music.
Darling, you're just soaking in it, but I know you'll...
By the way, for me, the name Melanie Martinez always associates with this video.
Once again, Jerry Slaughter worked it out with the whole production value. It was very cute and it was nice to see you. Well, she's not even looking at me. It's okay.
Okay, the next artist on the list is the one and only Lorde.
Baby, be the class clown. I'll be the beauty queen.
She is a singer-songwriter from New Zealand who hit mainstream fame with her 2013 smash song Royals. This song was everywhere, even in my country, that's how huge she was. But her entire album Pure Heroin had its own moment of fame on Tumblr.
Let's go down to the tennis court and talk it up like yeah.
Did you mean the double meaning there?
Like obviously I was aware of it.
Sure.
But I liked the words entendre taken away. You know, I think they're beautiful and they sound right and they look right, and I liked it. And you know, obviously I was aware of that other level, but I just, you know, I just thought it was cool.
Miss Lorde definitely rocked the world of Tumblr's angsty girl bloggers. At the time, 16-year-old addressed the beauty of being a teenager and the fear of growing up, but most importantly, she emphasized the importance of teenage feelings, and that made her one of the most relatable artists during Tumblr's most popular era. Okay, this next girl that we're gonna talk about has largely popularized the entire soft grunge aesthetic on Tumblr, and that girl is Sky Ferreira. Her hairstyle reminds me so much of Courtney Love, I just cannot help it. She was described as a pastel version of the classic 90s grunge, defined by Kurt Cobain and Nirvana.
Do you like fatherhood? Vodka? Yes, I love vodka.
But music-wise, her delivery, lyricism and instrumentation are deeply inspired by 80s pop music.
How has it been to do this transition now into the music world and singing and having such a strong following?
It's exciting, I guess. Yeah.
Now I just need to mention my girl Taylor Momsen in this category. She epitomized the darker and heavier side of Tumblr.
Just tonight, I will stay and we'll throw it all away.
On Tumblr, she mostly appealed to those who once was into scene or emo looks. It was never just a phase, mom. Speaking of the scene subculture, I have the entire library of those videos on this channel, so you better check it out. In my Tumblr days, I remember many people didn't like Taylor, because apparently she tried too hard to look so edgy and not like everyone else. But we can say it about every single person on Tumblr, let's be honest. For me, she was always such a crush.
Hey, Taylor, how was your workout?
Fine, thank you.
How about Jenny and me?
Excuse me.
Now, today I'm not gonna get into every single Tumblr core artist, but I would also put these ones in the same category.
I don't wanna go to school, I just wanna break the rules. Now if we're talking body, you got a perfect one. Your hands in the holes of my sweater. Why'd you only call me when you're high?
My youth is yours, tripping on skies, sipping water.
I was in the My Chemical Romance fandom, still in the My Chemical Romance fandom, harder than I ever was. I didn't like create any content, I would just like reblog it and like it, and now I create a lot of My Chemical Romance content, so that hasn't changed. And I also was already in the My Chemical Romance fandom before I joined Tumblr, so it was like just another platform for me to express my love for My Chemical Romance on. I did find like a lot of new bands, shows on Tumblr, so in a way it kind of shaped what I was interested in, but it was more like an evolution. Kind of like TikTok now shows me bands that I really like on my For You page. It's not changing what I'm into, it's just like adding to it.
And since I mainly focus on female singers, I want to briefly clarify the male Tumblr vibes. The classic male look was defined by Mr. Kurt Cobain, mostly but not necessarily, as well as Matty Healy from 1975. I would also consider Brandon Urie, Pete Wentz or the guys from the Arctic Monkeys to be the ultimate hipster fashionistas, who dictated the course of masculine Tumblr fashion one outfit at a time.
Honestly, I like the heels. I like wearing the heels. That's probably one of my favorite types. Like, they know that I like it, so they save it to the end.
Most of the people on Tumblr are in some way, shape, or form, to some degree, hipsters. Whatever you do, don't call them that.
Which leads us to the next chapter of today's video, the Tumblr girl aesthetic. Buckle up, legend, Professor Vitaly is in a building. So, this trend consisted of several aesthetics: soft grunge, pale grunge, indie sleaze, pastel goth, and the list goes on. But those are the most popular ones. There was also this clean image Tumblr girl, the one that would post pictures with Starbucks frappe and Victoria's Secret bags.
Dance with me one more time.
Which is also such a vibe, but today we're gonna focus mostly on the grunge aesthetics. It was a visual that was craved by many at the time. Those girls were not dressing to impress people at school anymore. They were dressing to impress a scene, only that scene was online.
Here's what they would typically wear.
Black skinny jeans, striped tops, fishnet tights, denim jackets, flannels, as well as the infamous galaxy prints, mustache and everything. Fandom merchandise and Dr. Martin boots, obviously. But your shoes could also be Converse or Vans. Wait, you didn't just think that I forgot to mention the choker necklace, did you?
Uh-huh, honey.
So the Tumblr girl aesthetic, it was very emo, but also like indie sleaze at the time. It was like those two things together. I still to this day think that is the pinnacle of style, and I want to dress like that still to this day. Unfortunately though, that fashion was pretty much always shown on very thin, pretty white girls, and if you didn't fit into that category, then sorry, you couldn't be a Tumblr it girl.
As for the hairstyle, colored or faded hair is great for this aesthetic, as well as bangs, space buns, messy buns, and the list goes on.
But no worries, if you have a natural hair, you still can be a Tumblr girl. You're forgiven. And don't forget about the makeup, it's a very important step. It usually features glowing skin, black eyeliner, dark eyeshadow, and dark lipstick. Should I even mention a little heart on your cheek? I don't think so either, it's pretty much mandatory.
Wear your heart on your cheek.
Marina and The Diamonds, the competition has entered the chat, baby.
Never on your sleeve.
I would see the American Apparel A-line skirt and I begged my mom to take me to the American Apparel. We had one in where we live in Florida, and I went and begged her, and I remember being so scared in the store because all the people that worked there were like super cool, super fun, edgy. I was like, I want to be like that. I'm like, I need that. And I have my skirt still. She's never been worn because there's no way my mother would let her 12-year-old daughter leave the house wearing this little skirt with some fishnet tights and some Doc Martens, but I tried. I have it. I love it. It's my favorite thing, like relic, history, piece, artifact.
But what about your living space, you might be wondering? And you'll be right. To decorate your room in a soft grunge way, here are some quick tips to achieve this aesthetic quickly. First of all kinds of plants are essential when it comes to this vibe, but the succulents, ferns and cacti are the most common ones. They should not be missed in many rooms. Polaroids, vinyl records, dream catchers and pictures of the album covers are essential for your wall. Oh wait. Do I have to tell you something?
So over here I just have my American Horror Story little sign thing, and I get so many questions on this. I actually made it myself. Then I have the beautiful Lana Del Ray Born to Die record just on here because I just wanted her face on my wall because, I mean, who can resist? This is my tapestry. I got it off Etsy for only $10.
But all that was so much more than just a fashion style. You cannot talk about what it looked like without talking about what it felt like. As I've said, it was an escape, first and foremost. On Tumblr, people could transport themselves from their hometowns to dreamy, faraway places like New York City, LA or London. And that was my personal hobby, to be honest. I would just get lost in tons of beautiful aesthetic photos of California sunsets daily and be like, one day Vitaly, one day you're gonna escape, cause normal people scare me. While blasting Dark Paradise by Lana in my headphones.
All my friends tell me I should move on.
I was the definition of a daydreamer. What a time to be alive. Speaking of, before we get even deeper into the Tumblr rabbit hole, I gotta show you something really embarrassing. Promise that you're not gonna judge me. In 2013 I posted my first ever YouTube video that was titled Dreams on my old YouTube channel that was in Russian. And you need to see this. Trigger warning, a lot of cringe. I know, I cannot unsee it too, but at least I straight up manifested that shit, cause nowadays I go hiking there every weekend. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. Okay, back to Tumblr. Did you know that before Halsey was Halsey, she was just an ordinary girl who ran the One Direction fan blog?
No way!
Basically, she was just another stan on Tumblr who enjoyed reading One Direction fun facts and fantasizing about dating Harry Styles. But when Harry started dating Taylor Swift in 2012, much like other fans at the time, Halsey became very angry over this fact and disliked Taylor. As a result, she wrote 2 songs about Hailor. One of them blew up and helped to draw attention to her music. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hailor song.
Once upon a time, as albums were debuted, Hailor was conceived. We panicked and we knew she heard him, she heard him, she heard him.
And after releasing that song, she decided to make another one, titled SOS.
Crazy to think that since 5 a.m. all I see is green eyes and I'm lost with them. And get it, she's told she's pretty and blonde and she can write one hell of a breakup song, but she'll never love you like I.
The fan fantasy is real, and it's crazy, I never knew this fact.
I got my ticket for the long way round.
By April 2013, she had stopped posting about One Direction and instead focused on promoting herself and her music career.
Hey guys, it's Halsey. The song I'm about to be playing is called Ghost. I wrote it in a basement with a friend, and you heard it first on Hits 1.
My ghost, where'd you go?
By the way, I would also consider Kylie Jenner's huge rise to fame due to her presence on Tumblr.
I know I wear the
same shirt. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Growing up, I was never into Kardashians, but I definitely remember seeing her photos with blue hair all the time.
On my Tumblr, I think I just really take the time to follow like really cool people and people that are really reflect my own personal style, so I can kind of share with the world what I like and maybe inspire people to do the same.
I cannot stop staring at her blue hair. Like, why does she have to have blue hair at my wedding?
We must talk the blue hair, I've got to be honest. I mean, are you going to get ribbons or something to make it not blue?
No, black spray.
But as we know, she went from Mindy Tumblr girl to Instagram queen real fast.
Rise and shine.
Now, if you're interested in what I was into and how my profile looked like, let's pull off my profile together. Jesus, who is this Tumblr boy? I didn't post a lot on here, I was just mainly reblogging. Vitaly Kovalev's blog. Zero taste. Okay, one thing about me is that I was so into the American culture. Jesus Christ, and into YouTube apparently. Well, not apparently, I was a huge fan. For me, it was the golden age of YouTubers. 2013, Shane Dawson, Joey Graceffa, Troye Sivan, Tyler Oakley, you name it.
But we are going to be doing a Tumblr tag video. Part 2! Oh my god, you scared me.
Thank you, love kisses very much.
And how can I forget the British crew? I was so into Zoella's vlogs, even though I had a hard time understanding the British accent.
Hello everyone, today I'm joined with all these YouTubers. We've got Zoe, Che, Casper, wherever he's, well there you are, and Alfie Davis.
Ooh, yeah! Why? I don't know the science. You might be happy to just not question the science.
Look at this Tumblr guru, he posted something. Let me translate it to you. I loved watching Shane's new vlog.
He's obsessed.
Also, Glee. This is something you're gonna see a lot on this page. I even had a Twitter account dedicated just to that show. What do you know about commitment? So yeah, Gleek once, Gleek forever. Despite all the tragic controversy surrounding the show. Oh wow, look at these American aesthetics. I feel like I should add something to this vibe. Way better. That's probably how I felt when I was reblogging all of this. That was also the time when I was so into Miley Cyrus, as you can tell. I mean, I still am a huge fan, but when the Wrecking Ball came out, I had no business being this obsessed.
We must be like Miley. Now what? I was country. Now I'm slutty.
Jesus effing Christ. What is this? This is not the type of Tumblr boy I was expecting to see, not gonna lie. Your soft grunge, my soft grunge. Okay, enough of this second-hand embarrassment. As you can see, Tumblr can be really entertaining, but as with any other social network, there is also a dark side of it. And by that I mean the glamorization of mental illnesses, addiction and eating disorders. The gap between thighs was the ultimate goal of the Tumblr girl, and the quote by Kate Moss, "Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels," became the mantra for young girls.
There was just so much thinspo on the platform. You couldn't escape it. It was everywhere and it was so normal. I've had many people say that they didn't even know what a thigh gap was until they joined Tumblr, and how Tumblr kind of was their first introduction to all of those harmful things.
There was also weird obsession with glamorizing mental illness. Characters like Kathy and Cassie from the Skin Show were seen as the pinnacle of cool.
People I should love, I hate. And the people I hate.
Or American Horror Story, for example. Tumblr was glamorizing those shows. But let's be honest, we still have the same problem even today. Let's take the Euphoria show as an example. Should I even begin with this one?
Everything is blue. His pills, his dance, his jeans.
So the decline of Tumblr. I noticed that my mutuals just started leaving the platform, and what was once a very vibrant community was starting to feel very, very empty. And of course, we can't forget that they banned explicit content, which a lot of people were very unhappy about. For me, I think it was a good thing, because Tumblr like really was into that imagery. It was a huge problem when I was at school and college.
There was a big like wipeout of anything with nudity, inappropriate content, anything explicit. It was like all gone in an instant. And not that anybody, like a young girl like me, was sitting there looking up all this stuff constantly, but to the people that were posting these things and having a large following from it, they lost a lot of their, community.
But Tumblr, of course, is still a thing. It still has tons of users. I just think I'd outgrown it. I'd reflected on all the things that had happened on Tumblr, all the things I'd been exposed to, and I realized it's not a healthy thing and you don't need this platform anymore.
But what if I tell you that the 2014 Tumblr, and by extension the Tumblr girl aesthetic, is potentially making a comeback, thanks to TikTok obviously.
we need to talk about the reemergence of 2014 vibes here on TikTok, because this is extremely important to me. I was here, I was there.
I'm sexy and I'm kind, I'm pretty.
Even Kylie Jenner posted herself in a pastel pink wig a few months ago, and I feel like we're really up to something over here, and therefore there's still maybe hope for Tumblr. As of 2024, 60% of new users were under 24 years old. And I have a question for you legends. What are your thoughts on the platform's big comeback? Definitely let's talk about it in the comment section down below. And on this iconic note, I will have to go. If you enjoyed this type of content as much as I do, please don't forget to like this video, cause you guys are the biggest motivation to work on this channel. And of course subscribe if you haven't already, which is a crime against humanity. Not gonna lie. Follow me on Instagram at Vitaly for the record, and I will see you in my next video this week.